You know, when stuff like that happens, it also reminds me of like a band that I love truly. And as a matter of fact, I got their poster in the back. Is Alien Ant Farm. It's just a side note because everybody plays that song "Movies," and they play
Smooth Criminal.
Oh God, I hate the song. I mean, I love the Michael Jackson songs is good, but I hate the fact that people know them by that. You know what I mean? Because it's such a great band. They have such good music, but then they get known off of that. I mean, I've been listening to those guys for years in the 90s. I went to a lot of their shows. I mean, I used to go see them at the Coconut Teaser in Hollywood back in the day with people who know what that is. But and then they become known off of that. I was like, oh, Jesus, really?
I remember this conversation with you at school because you said, I'm listening to Alien Ant Farm. I'm like, whoa, I thought that they only had like one album, but apparently to you they had a couple albums, and you were a big fan of them.
I was listening to them when they pretty much like in '95 when I discovered, like '96 maybe, when I discovered them, way before they came out with that the Smooth Criminal. And I was going to the barn in Riverside, the UC Riverside, to go watch them. And they were just such a great band, and I really liked them a lot. I thought that the band just meshed well with each other. Like the chemistry of the band was just so good. And all these guys came from like all different bands, and they put their own super band together. You know what I mean? And from what I hear, the story goes. And so the band was just great, and they came out with just some really good material, and I've been listening to them for a while. And then they got popular, and I was happy for them that they got popular with that song Smooth Criminal. But then at the same time, I was like, they're better than that. To be known for a song that's not even their song, it's like, okay, I guess. I mean, if they became popular, they made some money, got to tour, and that's cool. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like they're good enough to be popular with their own songs in their own right, you know.
So Anthology came out 2001. So I was about 10, 11 years old.
Yeah,
that's why I remember them.
and Anthology came out, and a lot of the songs I think on there was from songs from their demo tape. They re-recorded a lot of songs.
So we had the early years from '96 singles, $100 EP, Love Songs EP. Yeah.
See, those are the songs. The EP that's when I started listening to them, and then I thought they were a great band, and then they came out with They came out with this major label album. I don't remember what label it's on. What label was it? It's on Major, isn't it? DreamWorks, yeah, DreamWorks, and yeah, it's a great album. I really love it, But then they get popular on Smooth Criminal. Like, why? Like, seriously? Okay, I guess. You know what I mean? I guess so. But there's just so many good songs of their own songs, and I don't know. I've always just thought that was a shame, because I really like the guys. I think they're just such a talented band, and I knew the guys when I was playing with my Trench, because we were playing around the circuit at the time that they were playing, and I think we even played a show with him one time at the Shack here in Fullerton, and so I even talked to the guitar player one time, and back then I was like this young kid, and I don't know, I couldn't read the room or something like that. You know what I mean? I was very honest back then, and I'm very critical about music. And so I remember going up to him and talking to him. Go, yeah, I listened to that album. I don't remember what was it. I think it was the Greatest Hits one.
Mm-hmm. That's the first one.
I think it was the Greatest Hits one, right? I remember.
Yep.
I told him this is what I told him at the bar. I wonder if he would remember this too, because he got kind of mad at me. But I said, yeah, I was listening to that album, but I think the guitars are a little too loud. I told him I think the guitars are a little too loud, dude, and he got mad. He got offended. I was being honest. I was giving him constructive criticism, and I really believe that, and I still believe it to this day. But probably something I probably shouldn't have said since I didn't know him. I didn't know him very well, and these days now, I wouldn't say something like that. But yeah, I remember telling him that, and he got kind of offended.
So who was the guy with that reverse mohawk? You knew him, the lead singer, I presume.
You know what's funny? Like I would see him. I never really had a conversation with him, but I remember seeing him around, and I remember him always just giving me these funny looks. But it wasn't because of me. It was just he was in this. He was like in this persona.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I understand it. You know, I get it. And you know what? He was just. I think the guy just loved playing music. You know, he was in this band and he liked playing this band, and he was just. You know, he would always give me I remember him looking at me a couple of times and just. He was a character. I mean, if you remember watching those guys back in the day, watching them play, fans would know what I'm talking about. You know, he was a great front man. I mean to say a character like he was just a good front man. You know what I mean? He was very creative. He was very creative when he sang. He kind of like I want to say his kind of comedic style. You know, he was. I think he's gifted. I think he's gifted showmanship wise. You know, as a showman, he's very gifted because he was very entertaining. And that's what a singer needs to be, is entertaining, you know, because you are the front man, you are the person everybody's watching. And boy, did he do a really good job. And plus he could sing really well.
Mm-hmm.
He could sing really well. So but I never talked to him, but I remember he used to see me around. I used to see him around.
So you guys used to cross paths?
We crossed paths because we played with each other. And plus I used to go to their shows all the time. So I think what it was, and this is just my opinion, I think it's just that he always saw me as a familiar face. Like at the show. So he would look at me and he would kind of give me like a what's up or something like that. And it's been a long time, like 20-something years ago, and I remember seeing him around all the time, but I never really talked to him. But I remember talking to Terry, the guitar player. And I remember, you know, he got offended because I told him, you know, and rightfully so, dude, I shouldn't have told him that, man. Although I still believe that. I still think that that's true. I think the guitars are too loud.
Terry Caruso from Alien.
Like yeah.
From Alien Ant Farm. If you want to come give your 2 cents back at here at Joey, we'll love to have you.
Terry, man, I love your guitar. Dude, don't get me wrong. I love your guitar playing so much, man. It's like I wanted to be you, bro, at one point, man. You know what I mean? Because I thought your guitar player was so influential. I really dug the notes he chose to play. He's got his own style that I really enjoy a lot. And the guy's, I mean, that's my opinion. I'm not just saying that, you know what I mean? I've been listening to that band for so many years, and that's because you better be a good guitar player if I'm going to listen to you for years. Mm-hmm. And he is, you know, so, yeah, I didn't mean to be critical like that. It was just the wrong time and place is what I'm guilty of. But yeah, you know, telling the truth, you know.
All right, well, Terry, if somehow you ever hear this, come on the show and see if you can give 2 cents.
I love you, bro, man. I love you, Terry, man. Loved your shows back then. You guys were like definitely one of my band's top favorite bands. Very influential to us, and I even like I hope you guys keep on busting out with records, man. I mean, you know, it's slowed down a little bit, but yeah, you guys are really good together. I'll tell you that, especially with what's his name, Ty, the bass player. You remember you've heard of? Have you heard of Alien Farm?
Yeah, aside from the one album, yes.
Yeah, they're bassists. They need to get him back. You know, I think it's Ty Zamora. I think his name is.
Yeah.
They need to get him back because I mean the band is really, I mean the chemistry of the band is just, in my opinion, on point, 100% at their best when all four of those guys are in the room playing. And that's it. Period. Bar none.